Hello, and welcome back to Spittin Sports with Lamar. I am Casey Lamar, and I'm coming at you from the 256. Today is NFL picks for the weekend. Last week I went 9-7. That puts me at 22-26 overall. I was 13-19 after last week, but now I'm 22-26. Let's hope to keep catching back up that loss record. Let's not lose a game for the rest of the season, because you know that obviously will happen. I'm not going to lose a game for the rest of the year. But anyway, let's just get right into the matchups for this week. So I decided to do it a little different this week. Let you see the games on screen while I kind of point them out. I'm working on some other things to possibly break up the games, but so I'm just not constantly talking at you. But this is how we'll do it for this week. But tonight you do have the Minnesota Vikings in Los Angeles to take on the Rams. The Rams are a 7-point favorite. I'm not picking against the spread. I've said I'm just doing straight up picks, but just to give you an idea, the line is 7. But if I was picking against the spread, I would take the Vikings. But the Rams are going to win this game. I think Kirk Cousins. I think it'll be a close game. It'll be less than 7. I'm saying like a field goal. But the Rams just look unbeatable. Look like they'll find a way to win a game no matter what at this point. I really do like the Rams in that football game tonight. But like I said, watch for the Vikings to give them fits tonight. I really do think the Vikings will be able to throw the ball against them. Sunday, get into the Sunday slate, the majority of the games. You've got the Cincinnati Bengals visiting Atlanta to take on the Falcons. The Falcons are 5.5 points in this game. But as my straight up pick, I'm taking Atlanta. The Falcons at home. Cincinnati went on the road and lost to the Panthers last week. The Falcons lost an overtime shootout to the Saints. But I really do think the Falcons at home, they get it done this week. I look for Julio, probably catch his first touchdown pass. I know that's always been his bugaboo, I guess you could say, his downfall. He doesn't catch enough touchdown passes. But I do think Julio catches a touchdown this week, and I do take the Atlanta Falcons in that ball game. Next, you do have the Bucks and the Bears. The Bears are the favorite at home, but I think Fitzmagic lives on, and I think the Buccaneers find a way to pull it out. I don't expect him to throw for 400 yards in this game, to be honest. But I do think the Buccaneers find a way to pull it out in the end. Quarterback play is the difference maker. Trubisky, he's just not living up to that franchise quarterback expectation at this point. But I do like the Bears this season. I think they'll push for a playoff spot from that defense alone, but I will take the Buccaneers in that one. Next, you have Detroit visiting the Cowboys. In this one, I've gone back and forth. Dallas is the favorite at home, but you don't know what you're going to get out of the Lions, obviously, after what they did last week. But with the Cowboys' struggles, the Lions struggled the first 2 weeks. I think the Cowboys find a way to pull one out at home. Maybe 1-2 points, probably a low score, 20-17, somewhere in there. But I do think the Cowboys at home win that football game. Next, you do have the Bills. They're playing at the Packers. Packers are a 10-point favorite in that one at home. It's expected to be rainy. A little, 52, I wouldn't say chilly, but colder than what it's been here lately. But it's expected to be kind of sloppy conditions right now. But the Bills, I think last week was a fluke. The Vikings just weren't ready to play last week. I think the Packers, they've kind of been that loss last week. They just never seem to be into the game. But I think Aaron Rodgers on his home field, Green Bay on their home field. I think the Packers get it done this week. And I would say they probably do cover that. But the Bills, who knows? They might be on a tear now. We'll just have to see. The next one, Eagles at the Titans. Eagles are the favorite, of course, as you would expect. Tennessee has looked stagnant on offense. Their offense hasn't looked good. but this is probably my upset of the week. I know Tennessee's 2-1, but somehow they're 2-1 with very little quarterback play. They've struggled. Defense last week is the reason they were able to beat the Jags. I think the Titans find a way to win this football game at home and beat the defending Super Bowl champions. I just have a good feeling about Tennessee in this game, just because it's at home. Their defense is playing well. I expect the offense to step up a little bit this week. Um, but give me Tennessee. I'll take the Titans. That's my upset of the week, right there. You got the Texans. The next one, you got the Texans at the Colts, and the Texans, I know they're 0-3. They've really struggled. Colts are a 1-point favorite at home. Both these teams are probably going to struggle for the most part of the season. The Colts, with Andrew Luck, they might make a little bit of noise here and there. I don't think they're a playoff team. The Texans, they're basically out of it already at 0-3. But I think the Texans, I know I picked them last week to beat the Giants, but I think the Texans finally step up and get their first win of the season. It's going to happen at some point. I don't think they're that bad of a team. They just haven't found a way to win a football game yet. But I think Deshaun Watson, DeAndre Hopkins, they get it going, and they go into Indianapolis and they hand the Colts another loss, and both teams will be 1-3 after this week. The next noon game, you got the Dolphins visiting New England. Dolphins probably surprise of the season so far at 3-0. They played really well. They seem to just win football games with Tannehill under center, but they're playing in New England. New England is 6.5 points. They are the favorite in that one. I think it'll be a lot closer. People say going to New England, oh, they're going to blow them out. I think it'll be a lot closer than people think. Probably 3-point game. But I think just Tom Brady and that team at home, they're just going to win the game because they've lost two games on the road. The one win they have was at home against the Texans. Give me New England in that game right there. The next one, you have the Jets visiting the Jaguars. Jaguars 7.5 favorite. The Jags are going to win. That offense, I think they find a way to get going this week. Last week was just a weird game against Tennessee for both teams. But the Jets, they lost to the Browns. I know the Browns are much improved, but the Jets, after that opening explosion, I don't see them winning a whole lot more football games, maybe 5-6 total this season. It might surprise a couple people. I do like them moving forward in the future, not this season, but future, because they got a lot of money to spend next offseason. But I like the Jags at home. Probably not too happy with themselves after that game last week, and that defense probably hungry to get after Sam Darnold. Give me the Jags. The first 3 o'clock game, you've got the Cleveland Browns visiting the Oakland Raiders, and the Raiders are the favorite. That's obviously just because of home field, 2.5. Baker Mayfield's first start. I don't see the Raiders winning this game. I'm thinking Browns by 10, to be honest. The Browns defense is good. I think they'll have that spark with Baker. Like I've said probably 500 times at this point, Baker was the most prepared to win now of the quarterbacks, I believe. In the long run over his career, I think the way he plays the game, he might get a little bit banged up and cut his career shorter than the other guys. But Baker Mayfield, the way he plays the game, he plays with a lot of passion. I think the Browns, I think they win by 10. I'm thinking like a 30-20 game, something like that. But I do like the Browns in that football game. The next, you have the Seahawks visiting the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals, I believe, are probably the worst team in football this season. The defense still has a couple playmakers, but their offense is very stagnant. I know they made the quarterback change, but Russell Wilson by himself, I believe, is going to be too much. Seattle is the favorite in that game by 3, but I like the Seahawks to win that football game pretty easily. The defense may give the Seahawks a little bit of trouble, that Cardinals defense, but I think the Cardinals offense just isn't good at all. And I see the Seahawks winning that one pretty easily at the end of the game. The next game, 3:25, the Saints visiting the Giants. Saints. That's all you need to know. Saints are only 3.5, I guess, because it's on the road and the Giants got their first win last week. But the Saints, Drew Brees is playing too good right now. Alvin Kamara, he's a monster. This will be their last game without Mark Ingram too. So Michael Thomas, he's a monster. Saints are just way too much for the Giants in that football game. Give me the Saints. The next one, you have the 49ers visiting the Chargers. The Chargers are a 10-point favorite in that game. I see them winning by more. The 49ers, their season is you can basically turn that light switch off because Garoppolo's gone for the season. I'm not trying to disrespect anybody by saying that, but their season is gone. They lost the franchise quarterback. The Chargers, they played the two toughest teams, it looks like, there are to play this season. They've already played the Rams. They've already played the Chiefs. The Chargers and the Chiefs game wasn't all that bad. They got beat pretty easily in the end of the game, but the Chargers probably could have won if the receivers didn't have Butterfingers. But anyway, Chargers, I say by more than 10. But like I said, I'm just picking just straight up. Chargers win that game easily at home. Next, you have the Ravens visiting the Steelers on Sunday Night Football. Ravens, they've looked good so far. They had that one bad game against the Bengals on the road. The Steelers, they got their first win. I like where the Steelers are headed, even though they didn't score a single point in the second half of that game. Steelers are the favorite by 3. I like the Steelers by a touchdown. 4 points to a touchdown, somewhere in there. I like the Steelers. I'm looking like 28-24, 28-21, somewhere in there. But I like where the Steelers are headed. But like I said, that was a bad second half last week. But they got their first win. Maybe they can get some of this drama out of the way. I like the Steelers to win Sunday Night Football. And then you have the Chiefs visiting the Broncos on Monday Night Football. The Chiefs are just too good right now. Patrick Mahomes, nobody can stop him. He's got 13 touchdowns through 3 games. I think the Chiefs, Kansas City's 4.5. Give me the Chiefs by 10, at least 10. The Broncos, they're still a decent team. Case Keenum, he's a serviceable quarterback. He's not a bad quarterback. He can win games for you. The defense is still pretty good, but the Chiefs' offense, until somebody decides to stop them, the Chiefs and the Rams are head and shoulders above everybody right now. And I think the Chiefs stick with it. I think them and the Rams are both 4-0 after this week. But yes, like I said, give me the Chiefs in that football game. You do have 2 bye weeks this week, the Washington Redskins and the Carolina Panthers. But that is all for the picks for this week. Go ahead and let me know what you're looking for out of the games this weekend, who's going to win, or what you're looking at or trying to pay attention to. But don't forget to leave a big thumbs up, share the content, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this. Tomorrow, like every Friday since college football started, it will be college football pick'em. I believe I will be doing that with David again this week. I just got to make sure everything's ready to go with him and make sure he can do it this week again. But anyway, this has been Spittin' Sports with Lamar. I am Casey Lamar. Look forward to seeing you all tomorrow.